You were about 30 minutes late getting ready for a wedding, and it was fine. And you get out there, and your husband's a little annoyed. There you are, and you are and you get in the car with him, and he's speeding like a maniac, and he's whatever, and he's doing it because he's angry at you, and it's your fault. But he is driving like a lunatic, and you are afraid for your life. What do you do? Worst wife ever. Worst wife ever. Okay, Taylor.
I just keep screaming at him until he just listens, especially about being, Mario Andretti Grossman in the car, because it's really important that we get there. What if we kill each other on the way to the wedding? How is that going to make anybody happy with us?
Go, Rachel.
Well, yes, I think screaming and crying is required, but then I'm going to live stream him for all my friends to see how irresponsibly he's driving.
Okay, well, these are good. Okay, go ahead.
I'm going to also scream and cry, but I'm going to blindfold him with my hands, but then jump into the seat, take control of the wheel, push down on his foot on the brakes, so I'm hurting him, but also stopping the car and saying, if you don't get us there on time and safely, then I'm going to get a year subscription to Drybar because you just ruined my beautiful new hair.
There you go. Okay. Okay, fine. Okay, Jess, you're up.
I'm going to keep trying to put on my lipstick and then end up looking like a clown to make sure I really embarrass him once we get to the event.
Okay, that's very good. All right, very good. Judges, let's start with Sarit. You're on.
Wow, this is a tough one. So the screaming and all that, we all do it. We basically, every lady would be a worst wife ever because, oh my gosh, don't come to my house and see how I scream. But I have to say the lipstick was that was like a tough one. The lipstick is a good one, except I don't know if I'd want to embarrass myself that way. So I think I'm going with Siggy and taking over the wheel and getting a subscription to Drybar. That's definitely going down as the worst.
Okay, very good. The worst wife ever. Siggy's got 1 point. Okay, Rachel.
All right, I just unmuted myself. I like Rachel. I like that she screamed and cried, not just screamed, and that she was going to live stream him.
That was like the worst.
I think that's very original. I wouldn't think of such a thing, and I love that. And then never erase it. It's always there.
There you go. Okay, Gabby.
Live streaming is definitely a way to get at someone, but I feel like I'm just more biased because I would want a year subscription to Drybar. So I think I'm just gonna have to go with Siggy. Thinking on the spot.
Yay! Siggy won the first round. Yay! Okay, you ready for the second one? Okay. Your husband has been working too many hours, way too many hours. You talk to him about it. You get a whole lecture about what it's like to work hard and to provide for the family. And you get he's not really listening. He's just totally defensive. You're sad. You feel rejected. You feel lonely. And you feel like the real reason is that he doesn't really want to be with you. What do you do? Jess.
I try to overcompensate and then find every little minutia and thing to do in the house to make him try to feel the same way. Oh, excuse me, this light bulb looks like it might burn out. I'm sorry, were you saying something?
Okay, very good. Very good. Siggy.
I say, you don't like your job? I'm going to make him quit. I'm going to go get my dream job, and he has to stay home and do the laundry, the cooking, and take care of all the kids. And then we still don't see each other, but I get to go live my fabulous life.
Whoa. Okay. Taylor.
I'm going to just reset all the TVs in the house so that it only goes to the soap opera network.
Good. Okay, there you have it. Take that. Okay, Rachel.
I don't know. I'm stumped with this one. I feel like when I get lectured, I kind of like retreat inside. So I think I'm going to have to go with the silent treatment for let's say a week.
A week at least. Okay. Also, the other thing, Sarit, aren't I supposed to, after the thing, to tell what the best wife
Yes,
would-
yes. I was gonna,
What is
I
the
didn't
point?
want to jump in. I said maybe she's gonna do it as like a double dose.
Yeah, no, I completely forgot. I'm in space here. Hello. Okay, COVID error. Okay, so go
Okay,
ahead. So
Right. So we'll decide who wins, and then afterwards you could tell us how to redo those two scenarios.
fantastic.
So yeah, Rachel, honey, the silent treatment is like my number one tool. So yeah, you basically are making me the worst wife ever on this show right now. Just letting you know, Rachel, I'm not liking you right now. But no, I'm actually going to go with the soap opera. OMG, to turn all the channels to soap opera, that would be the worst wife ever, that her husband cannot see his sports or, oh no, yeah, that's the worst for
That's the
sure.
worst.
hands down.
Okay. Okay, Taylor wins that one. Let's see it. Rachel,
Okay, I will go with Siggy. I would just leave and get my, my dream job, which, maybe she has already, but at least it gives him a taste of his own medicine, and she should not come home, and he should be in charge of the home. And, when he doesn't have what he needs, he'll make sure that he does it in the home. I like that.
there you go. Fantastic. Okay. Gabby.
I think I'm with Suri and have to go with the soap opera. I feel like it's just pouring salt in a wound, and it just has this poetic justice that I just gravitate to.
Okay, Siggy.
Well said, Gabby. Poetic justice. Well
Thank
said.
you. Thank you.
You win that round. Very good. Okay, so let's go back to 30 minutes late to getting to your to going to the wedding. Your husband's driving like a maniac. You're scared for your life. What do you do? Okay, so here is the answer. The good wife, right? This shows worst wife ever, but now I'm going to show you the best wife. This is actually a problem not in the moment. It's not when when he's driving you in the car that this problem can be solved. Get that through your head. Like whatever you do in the moment, it's going to backfire. It's not going to work. It's going to backfire. It's going to make matters worse. It's just going to raise the ratchet up of the experience. You're going to have a miserable night, a miserable whatever, and he's going to resent it. So what is the solution? The solution is long before you get into these situations or after the situation, removed from the middle of the conflict, is you say to your husband, I just want to talk about to you about something, and I don't want to be like lecture you or make a big mountain out of a molehill. I just want to say something that I'm hoping you can hear without getting defensive, and that is that maybe that'll make it more defensive now I'm thinking about it. But you say it in a way that he can hear. Your husband better than I do, so maybe that would work. Maybe saying, I want to tell you something quick, but I don't want to hurt your feelings. I'm not sure if you realize that sometimes when you get riled up, and especially if I'm the one who caused your getting riled up by being late or upsetting you in some way before we get out the door, you sometimes drive in a not your best. So I'm just putting that out there. Do what the information you want to do with it, but I'm not trying to knock you. I'm not trying to make you feel bad, because all in all, you're a good driver, even if he's not. So say that, okay? It's fine. We're allowed to lie for peace and whatever. Look it up. That's a part from our 3,000-year-old track record of success of a relationship that works. Is you can tell these little bit of things that he tries his best. You could say that. I can tell how hard you try to be a great driver if you have to say it that low. But if you can say, most of the time you're really good and fine, but sometimes you get, I'm just pointing it out to you because I realize you may not notice it. Now, what that does is it gives him the information, hopefully without getting all defensive. It's not in the heat of the battle so that he's not all riled up. You're not shouting at him because it's not in the moment when you're holding on to that. What's that strap thing called? The strap thing. You know what I'm talking about.
Say it on here.
What's it called?
We're not allowed to say it on here. It's a curse. It's an OSH.
Shoot handle.
Oh, shoot handle.
Oh, is that what it is? Okay, whatever. Yeah, so you're holding on to that thing or whatever, as you're swaying back and forth, you need to tell him, then you're going to scream at him. Wait till later. zip your lip, right? We got our duct tape, right? I got my COVID thing, and I've got my duct tape. So you got your duct tape, right? You put the duct tape on and you wait, and then later you say all that. Okay. Any questions on that before I go to the next one? Ladies, are you ready to type in your question? We need more scenarios. Start putting them in. Sarit will read them over the air. Okay, fine. So number 2, was your husband's working so many hours. When you talk about him and when you try to talk about it, you get a whole lecture and about how hard it is to provide for the family. So, and you feel rejected because you feel like he's not taking care of you. You feel lonely and like he's pretending it's his work, but really he could have come home earlier. Maybe he's playing some game on the computer at work. So the issue with sharing this kind of information, if you are telling your husband anything that makes him defensive, where you can tell, oh, he's defensive. Now, how do you explain defensive? Ladies, help me out.
I would say that like with defensive, if you're defensive, it goes internal. And so you just try to like bash out a little bit. But if you're defending your life, it goes external and you're standing up for yourself.
Interesting. That's so interesting. Okay. So the issue is if your husband is getting defensive when you're talking to him, time out. That's how you know somehow your tactic is wrong. Somehow, maybe it's him. Maybe he is, quick to be defensive. Maybe he was attacked as a kid. He was always, pointed finger, but you're bad, you're wrong, whatever. So maybe he starts out so totally against the 8 ball, feeling defensive about every action he takes in his life. Okay, you don't want to be that person. You don't want to keep that. You're making that habit of his and that pain of his to keep promulgate, to keep that pain going and going. You don't want to be that person. So the minute you see your husband's getting defensive is your time to pull back and say, you can even say this out loud. Somehow what I'm saying isn't getting through in the kind way I want it to get through to you. So let me start again. So when the issue is, I feel like you're working too long. You feel like that's what you have to do to provide for the family, and you feel like you're doing that for me. But on the same token, I feel a little bit lonely or sad or rejected. There's a little bit of rejection in there. So I'm just trying to explain to you how I feel so we can work on it together and come up with a solution. I'm not sure what that solution is. Maybe it's Tuesdays and Thursdays you come home early, or maybe it's you call me every night at like 6 to let me know what time you're coming home. You got to get creative on what the solution is. But the main thing is, the minute you start making your husband defensive, there's no solution. There's no way out. There's no easy. You backed him into a corner and he's just going to fight. Whereas if you soften it up and come at it and wait, am I saying, hey, wait a second, he's the one who's behaving badly, Leah. You're saying that as the wife, you should like jump through every hoop to get what you want. You want to get what you want. So, part of the job of us clever women who have Bini Yasera, which is, what's Bini Yasera, Sarit? Women's intuition.
Yes, women's intuition.
Women's intuition, okay. We have women's intuition. We know when we're pushing. And I have to tell you, the problem is sometimes when you're making your husband defensive and putting him in a corner, it's actually enjoyable. Like, ha, 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 go sit in the corner. Like, you tell a kid, go, in timeout. But I didn't do it. She hit me first. In time out. And then it's quiet. Yeah, good luck if you can keep a kid in time out. But anyway, okay, that's another show. So the issue is that you have to get over your own pleasure of putting him in time out by recognizing that the short-term game of making him defensive and feel bad is not worth the long-term loss of closeness in the marriage. So yeah, go ahead, Rach.
Also, maybe it's quality, not quantity. Maybe you don't actually want that much of him. When you do see each other, you want it to be like a date or a conversation.
That's a good point. So you're saying that I'm not sure I understand your point.
I guess I'm offering like what might be one of the solutions is maybe it's not more time together. Maybe it's just making the time you do have together more quality time.
Beautiful. I love that. 100%. That's exactly right. But that can all be communicated. And if it's communicated like this or communicated like putting him on defensive, not going to be successful. But if you do it in a way, think about it first. If you're one of those people who's a good writer or likes to write it out exactly what you're saying, like a letter. And then you can either give him the letter or you can say it. But you have to first think very, very deeply about how to communicate it in a way that doesn't make him defensive. Okay, let's go on. Ready?
Okay, wait, Leah.
Yeah?
I have a Facebook scenario that was sent by
Awesome.
someone saying they're saying that I'm curious about how many couples are disagreeing about COVID. Example, mask versus no mask, social distancing versus not social distancing versus inside and outside gatherings. And what are their plans? How are they dealing with this with Thanksgiving? Any disagreements happening? So a scenario may be about Thanksgiving dinner party or about the husband not wanting to wear a mask or not wanting to do what he needs to. Blah, blah.
Fantastic. Thank you, Facebook lady, whoever you were. Awesome. Good scenario and very apropos. Okay, so the scenario is, ladies, are you ready? Get your shakers ready. The scenario is you are invited next week to a Thanksgiving dinner with the family. And your husband is all rearing to go. He doesn't wear a mask as it is, in and out of it, wherever he's going. He sometimes does. If it says no mask, mask needed, he does. But if not, he's very, very lackadaisical. You, on the other hand, do you want to wear? You always wear a mask. You never are without. You have like one in each pocket in your purse, every little door of your car. You have them all over the place, and you have boxes of them bought and in your closet. 19 boxes of masks ready at the ready. Okay, ready to go. So you don't want to go to Thanksgiving. It's not a social distance event. Nobody's being COVID tested first or whatever. You do not want to go and you want to wear a mask, and your husband doesn't. He walks in the door and he goes, "You never take me seriously. My needs aren't important to you." What do you do? Worst wife ever. Worst wife ever. Rachel.
Well, first I gather all my masks from all the corners of everywhere and I put them all on. And then I get all my children's Halloween masks and I put those on too, layered. And then maybe a big motorcycle helmet. And then I say, okay, I'm in, I'm ready to go.
There you go. Okay, fine. Who else? Okay, Siggy.
Worst wife ever. I send him to Thanksgiving while I stay home and watch movies all night and just do my own girls thing. And he goes to Thanksgiving, gets really sick, and he's not allowed in the house for 2 weeks.
There you go. Okay, wow. Ouch. Okay, Jess.
I say you want to act like a turkey, you can be a turkey. And I buy an inflatable turkey and make him wear that over his head since he doesn't want to wear a mask.
Okay, very good. Okay, Taylor.
Well, mine was along Siggy's line, but I was going to say that, yeah, you can go. You just can't come back. So I hope the food is really good at the super spreader event because the locks will be different when you come home.
Good. Okay, Sarit, you're up.
Okay, so hard one, but I have to say, OMG, Jess, turkey, you're a turkey, so you wear a turkey. That's great. That is definitely hands down worst wife ever. Love it.
Okay, fantastic. Rachel.
Okay, so the last one was Rachel. The last one that went was Rachel. I just wanna
No, that was Taylor.
That was Taylor. Okay, excuse me. I'm sorry, I got that wrong. So I like what she said. Just go and never come back. I mean, it is the worst wife ever. So that's it. That was obvious to me.
Okay, good. Gabby.
Oh no, I'm the tiebreaker because I'm thinking between Jess and Siggy. And I don't know. There's just something I think actually
Jess.
I know. So we're like so on the same page today.
So funny.
I think I just laughed really hard after hearing Jess's response to putting a turkey on his head. There's just something too good and like such a great picture.
Yes,
Fine. Sarit twisted my arm.
Oh, yes, that's the, okay, fine. Okay, great. Jess, worst wife ever. You won the round. Yay.
Yay.
Okay, let's go to
Oh, Leia, by the way, one of our Facebook people is saying, number one, love the wearing a turkey. So I guess even our Facebook team found that one to be the winner.
Okay.
And also we have a Facebook friend who said it was Siggy's birthday or is Siggy's birthday. So happy birthday, Siggy.
happy birthday,
you.
Siggy.
Happy birthday.
Our Facebook fans are looking out at our comedians and they know what they're about. So
That's
happy birthday.
awesome. That's awesome. That's good. Okay, let's go to the next scenario and write in your scenarios. Thank you very much for sending that one in. You guys write more in, and also if you vote, your vote will include it in the thing. It won't. I don't know if we can count unless we get an odd number. Okay, because it has to be somebody has to win. Okay, that's why I have 3 people. Okay.
By the way, Torah Anytime live stream, Dina said she liked Siggy's answer. Siggy was her winner. So, oh my
Siggy.
God, Rachel, you've got in there. Like, I think there's.
We got it. We're getting somewhere. That's good. Thank you for the vote. Okay. Your husband comes home. He plops down on the couch without helping. Okay.
Wait, tell us the answer to the mask.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
thank you. Okay, fine.
Oh my God, good job,
She's
Rachel.
on. You're hired, lady. Okay. Yeah, this is a good one. This is an important one. This is one everyone wants to know the answer to because this is very. So we actually have a 3,000-year-old tradition of how to handle this, which is that when in doubt, you should try and go with your husband on many issues that are trite and unimportant because it's frankly, it makes him feel, he should also, if I were talking to men, I'd also say, you should go with the women. Okay, so, whatever. But now that I'm talking to you and you're learning and you're growing and whatever, you're becoming the best wife ever, okay? And the happiest wife ever, most importantly. But when you are, for a lot of little things in your life, you should try your best to go his way. He wants to go to that restaurant. Don't fight for your restaurant and whatever. We went to yours 10 times and whatever. And then you go there and nobody enjoys it. If you can just go there, unless he's never letting you go to your restaurant. Is anyone going to restaurants? What am I talking about? But anyway, you can't, this is like in normal life. Okay. So, but, then if he's never going to your restaurant, I'll just continue the thing. That is a conversation, not when you're deciding which restaurant to go to, but at another time to sit there and have a conversation. I just wanted to point something out. We always go to yours and whatever. And, can you just kind of even it out? We can do what you want. If you want to always do it your way, I'm willing. Not really, but I'd be willing. Okay. But I just wanted to point out that I'd like some more input on where we go, whatever. Okay, fine. But for most situations, that would be the way to go. That's the way to keep harmony. That's the way, not fighting over little stupid things. Except our tradition is, except when there's a safety issue. So with this is why it's really, really good to have outside authorities in your marriage that can help you with things. So some issues, like, you're fighting over which school the kid should go in. If you feel very strongly, he feels very strongly, and you just, I can't give in. If I just gave in, I would just feel like my kid's in the wrong school. Now, there is something to be said for the blessing from God coming and taking care of you because you went with your husband's choice. That's not labor time and making this stuff up. This is a guaranteed way to have harmony in the marriage, okay? There is the thought that if you give up, you mavater, you give in for the sake of peace in the marriage, you will benefit, guaranteed by God himself. You will benefit. So what does that mean? You finally give in and let them go to the stupid wrong school that is awful or whatever. A year later, you look back and you see, my goodness, yes, this kid was, in a very stressful school, but he rose to the occasion. Wow. You know why he did? You know why and if he had gone to that other school, they had all kinds of temper tantrums in that class, and you've heard from somebody else through grapevine. You may not ever know, but you can be guaranteed it's going to be good for you. So that class would have been a disaster. And the kid grew and blossomed because you mavatered, you gave in. What happens is, the way God works is that where there is shalom, where there is peace in the marriage, that is where blessing flows to. So that means that if I'm not talking about being a doormat. Do I look like a doormat? I'm not a doormat, right? We're not doormats. None of us, we're not doormats. But it means on things that, don't fight for every little thing in your life. If you let go and go for peace, God will bring down shiny, beautiful blessings in your life. And that is a guarantee by God himself. This is a 3,000-year-old Jewish tradition, a track record of success. Try it. Okay. So the answer to this question about wearing the mask is that this is this is a safety issue, so it's quite a bit different. You need to have a conversation with your husband about how you feel about it, and then having an outside source like a doctor, like go to your kid's pediatrician, or go to, you know, one of your internists, go to somebody, a medical professional that both of you trust, both of you like, and both of you say, even before you ask the question, you both say, whatever this person says, we're going to go by. And then try and pick a doctor who says you must wear a mask. But no, but you know, you have to go with somebody who's reasonable and that both of you respect. And after the fact, if the doctor says you have to wear, you really should be wearing masks. It can't be in a situation where you or your husband says, let's go ask somebody else. So you need kind of a definitive authority there. That's why clergyman, a rabbi, a rebbitzin, anybody who is a spiritual leader in your community, if you can turn to them for even questions, medical questions, where you say, what do? We can't find a harmonious way to answer this. We can't find peace in this situation. It could be that your husband says, okay, you wear a mask everywhere you go, and I'll try and wear it twice as much as I otherwise would. But you know, so he'll come a little bit towards you. It's still not perfect, but if he feels strongly about that, that might be the best you can do. Okay.
Like, I have a question.
Sure.
For like things like kashrut, I know that I was always taught that the more strict version always wins out. Would that be kind of similar in this a little bit, where like it's not really, he just has to wear a mask, but you have to kind of sacrifice if you're not wearing a mask?
That's interesting. So what you heard, that the strictest,
Like if like someone is kosher and the spouse is not, but in the house you're disagreeing, that you keep the stricter one, because otherwise that person has to sacrifice what they believe, whereas the other one is just inconvenienced with having to keep kosher.
wow.
You're the expert. I just have learned that.
No, that's very interesting, because my understanding from that is that that's why it's good to have a rabbi that you can ask that kind of question, because typically the bigger the rabbi's shoulders, you know, the greater the rabbi, the more lenient he knows that you can be. You know what I'm saying? So going stricter and stricter isn't always the best thing. You have to big shoulders to be able to have a lot of leniencies. There's a million things of that.
Like if you, the wife, are being more strict about safety and COVID precautions, that would make sense. Cause like he's just being inconvenienced, like, oh, I'm gonna wear a mask, you
Right.
know, but keep peace because I want to be more strict.
Right.
Right.
It's really, no, it's true. It's a heart to heart conversation of what should I do? Ask him. You can cry to him. What should I do? I feel strong about it. I know you're smart. I trust you with my life. I've trusted you with everything, with you know, giving you everything in my life. You know, I mean, sharing my whole life with you. But I don't know what to do in this situation. Please help me figure out what we can do that I can live with. You know, if it's a heart to heart, there's a Jewish expression that what comes from the heart goes into the heart. So if you say it in a way that's not wagging, we lost somebody. Where did Jess go?
I'm texting her.
Okay, I don't know if she knows she got clicked off. Okay, so, and let me make sure I've got enough juice. Are we okay, Scott? Can I go on to the next question? Is there a buzz, Scott? Okay, good, fine, good. Because if I unplug, I'm afraid it will go up. Okay, so all right. Well, Jess gonna miss this round. What do we do? Okay, maybe she'll come on by the time we get. Okay, fine. Okay, and also type in more questions. Sarit, do we have any comments or questions before I go to the next scenario?
No, nothing yet. Just
Okay,
people are waiting, actually very excited to hear the next one.
Okay,
So-
very good. Okay. You're about to turn out your lamp and go to bed, and your husband attacks you with the credit card bill. What do you do?
Jessica's power just went out in her building, just so you know. So she
Hello.
got kicked from the internet too.
So
This
can
never
I know this never happened. Rach, can you put her on FaceTime with you, or on some kind of a thing, and hold her face up, and she can be on that way? Creative, crazy.
I'll go in the meantime.
Okay, hold on a sec. Rach, did you understand that request?
I didn't, sorry.
Okay,
We-
so go on with get with Jessica, go on your phone and just FaceTime her.
Oh, no, but the worst wife ever question I didn't get. I can't
Oh.
get through to.
Oh, you can't even get through to her.
But
Oh, sorry.
she might not have an iPhone.
Okay, I
Yeah.
mean, but anyway, even if her voice is on, so she could be on, can you get her on the phone, on a regular phone? Okay, sorry, everybody. What can you do? Technical difficulties. Okay. Yeah, so that way at least you can play. Okay, I'm gonna ask the question again. Is she on?
Oh, okay. Or I can have you on audio on speakerphone. It's
Yeah,
totally
audio
fine.
is fine. Okay, as long as you can hear the question. Okay, I'm gonna read up it. Redo it. Okay. Hello. Okay, ready? Here's the question. Can Jessica hear?
She's gonna try to log on from her phone.
Okay, fine. Okay, fine.
Do this round without her, and then
Oh,
we'll-
that's a good idea. Okay, your husband comes home, plops down. Wait, sorry. You're about to turn out. Did I do that one already? No.
No, you're about to turn out to go to sleep and your husband
Okay,
gives you the bill.
You're about
the
to
credit
turn
card
out
bill.
your lamp and go to bed, and your husband attacks you with a credit card bill. What do you do? Go ahead, Siggy.
I attack him right back. Like I literally take the bill and I smack him, and then I turn out the lights and put on my eye mask. And that's the end of that night for me.
That's the end of that. Okay, fine. Who else? Okay, Taylor.
I just look at him and then just start crying and say, right now, and then just turn over and go to bed.
Oh, my team is going. Okay, Rachel.
I think I have to play possum. I think I just pretend I'm asleep and just maybe like fall out of the bed and snore really loud, maybe talk in my sleep.
Okay, fine. Huh? What'd you say?
Avoid.
Avoidance. There we go. Okay, great. Sarit.
Wow. Okay. I'm literally, I have so many things that I would do. I'm like, oh my gosh, not, falling asleep is good, but I would probably, can I get my own worst wife ever? I think on this one, when it comes to the credit cards, I need to weigh in on this one. I mean, that's my entire life. Like,
Okay, go on.
Whatever. But I love shopping. I would literally just look at him and I would nod my head and say, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Oh, you're right. I'm so sorry. Yes, I will definitely try to be better. And then I'll turn around, go to sleep. And then for the next week, I'll spend so much on the credit card and then tell him, oh my gosh, I think somebody stole our card because there's so many shopping that's on it. It must be somebody else.
That's
And that's what we
okay. Okay, you win that round, Sarit.
No, that's my personal, maybe I tried that already once. So yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, let me
Hold
tell
on,
you what I was.
let Jessica have a turn. Jessica,
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm reading the question.
question
You're
is,
about-
your husband comes, you're about to turn out your lamp and go to bed, and your husband attacks you with a credit card bill. What do you do? Oh, she's gone again. Is she gone?
Ooh. I remind him how I am the one who remembers every woman in his life, from the people who work in his office to his mother, to his sister, to everybody, and that I'm the one who buys the gifts and remembers every occasion. So he should not have
Mhm.
any with it.
Whoa. Okay, very good. Okay, Sarit, now you got to vote on them. You don't get to be a
Wow,
player.
yeah, that's, by the way, Jess came in there. Good. Jess came in there powerful. She might have been blacked out for a little, but she came in strong. I have to say, reminding your husband of all the women in his life who you buy things for because he wants you to, and that treat him well because of the gifts you buy them for him. Yeah, that's definitely going to make him feel really bad about showing you the credit card right before bed.
Worst wife ever. Okay, Rachel.
Okay, so I actually like Jessica's, but it's the truth. So it's not anything out of the ordinary. Like we do all that. So we've told him through the years what we do. And so in this case, I'm going to go. At first, Rachel was saying she's going to pretend that she's asleep. But once she said she's going to snore and make all these noises in bed, that was it.
Yay, worst wife ever. Okay, great. Okay, Gabby.
It's so funny. I think that Jessica came in swinging because I was also leaning towards Rachel. But like, cause like sleeping, pretending that you're asleep, loving the denial. But if we have to think about worst wife ever, Jessica, really, that was like the cherry on the cake. It was amazing.
Okay, there you go. Worst wife ever.
Me and Gabs, we are a team.
There you go.
Hey.
Yeah, you guys cut it out. Quit it. Okay, fine. Okay, let's go to the next one. Good round, guys. Glad to have you back, Jess. Okay, your husband sulks anytime you tell him something he did wrong. It seems
Yeah.
like you can't ever share your concerns or anything that's bothering you about it. I forgot to tell about the, what should I do? Should I go back?
Yeah, go, but no, yeah, tell what's the right way.
Okay, for
You
the
know,
guy.
we're having so much fun with all the worst wives that we're like, we just love it.
I'm
Forget
forgetting
it.
what
Who wants
really
to be a good wife? It's so much more fun to be a worst wife.
Okay, you're about to turn out your lamp to go to bed. Your husband attacks you with a credit card bill. What do you do? So again, this is one of those situations that is best handled outside of the situation. What happens is we get so sucked in and so dragged into our momentary emotions of how we feel and how they made us feel that we forget to remove ourselves from the situation and think about these things outside of the conflict zone. You got the conflict zone. He's driving crazy. He's handing you a credit card bill. You've got this conflict zone. That's not the time to teach a lesson to your husband, to learn with your husband, or to grow with your husband, or to get closer to your husband. You're in the middle of it. That is the time to use the duct tape, okay? Use the duct tape. Don't say anything at the moment. And then after say, I want to talk to you about something. I don't want you to get all defensive. So, some husbands that works for, some people that makes them more defensive. So you got to know your husband. But the issue is you want to say, I want to talk to you about something. I really don't want to make a mountain out of a molehill. But when you brought the credit card to me last night or last week, whatever, right before I was going to bed, it's like I had such a stressful day. My boss called me and the kid threw up and I had so many, list out everything that happened to you that day and then I just went and I hit the pillow and I'm just like, and then you came and ratcheted me all back up again. So I'm not trying to blame you. All I'm doing is trying to make a request of you. When you have something stressful that you think might be stressful, nighttime or daytime or any afternoon. I just saw this thing and it said, turns out I'm not an afternoon person either, meaning I'm not a morning person. It turns out I'm not an afternoon person either. But anyways, but the thing is that, what can you be very careful on how you present the credit card bill? And I actually had a bunch of years ago a couple where the husband always was doing this and he stressed her out like, why'd you send this? Why is that? It was always like this. And so finally, what I taught her to do, I said, he's not allowed to hand you the credit card bill. All he's allowed to do is put it face down on your desk, okay, with a little note saying, here's the credit card bill. Look at it when you get a chance. And you have a week to look out after it. She says, he'll never do that. And I said, you tell him if he wants to do it without getting a frying pan on his head, okay, that this is how he does it. And they did it. And she, actually I ran into her and I didn't get a chance to, but I'm sure it is a solution that can really work for very, very stressful things like that. You got to know yourself, but the key lesson here is to not do it in the heat of conflict, to outside of the conflict zone, discuss it with them in as kind a manner as you can. Okay, good.
Okay, wait, by the way, Miriam Gould from Facebook's the Turning Time Facebook live stream actually wrote in, and I think she's going to win the worst wife ever because she wrote, the husband walks in and he shows the credit card to the wife and the wife says, wow, I guess that $15,000 charge must not have shown up yet. She
Here.
turns over and goes to sleep while her husband has heart palpitations.
That's the worst wife, the best worst wife ever. That was very good. We got some awesome players here. Thank you. Good. Okay, great. Okay.
Before that, the Facebook came on, before the other person brought over the COVID scenario, you were going to say that the husband plops himself on the couch. That was a scenario that you didn't come back to.
Oh, okay, so fine. So I thought so. My brain is okay, fine.
And that's okay, good. You'll do that one. And by the way, Sticky, you're getting a lot of shout outs from our Torah Anytime live stream. They're saying Sticky always has great ideas.
Yeah, there you go.
We're in the worst wife ever
She's getting
category.
special treatment because it's her birthday. We're good. Okay, so, okay. Your husband comes home, plops down on the couch without helping. He doesn't notice all the kids screaming, the dinner being cooked, etc. What do you do, ladies? Worst wife ever. He plops down, doesn't do anything, doesn't help. Kids are screaming, dinner's being cooked. He doesn't care. He just plops down. Rachel.
I plop down with him and I talk to him like he's an expert that I have hired to ask his advice on how he is managing to do this, because I can't ignore this and I can't ignore this and this needs to be done. And please give me your secret of how you are handling this all so well.
Seek his advice.
Yes.
That's actually not that's a good wife, I think.
Yeah,
I love it. I love it. Put him on the spot. Okay, Siggy.
If he doesn't notice, I bring the things to him. I carry the children and dump them on his lap. I bring the food and dump them on his lap. And I make it really loud and noisy. And I just sit there and wait and see if he notices now.
Okay, there you go. The dump approach. Got it. Dump on him. Okay, got Taylor.
I bring all the kids in the kitchen and I say, go see if daddy wants to play. And just see what happens.
And let it roll. Okay, Jess.
I decide that we are going to eat raw food for the evening, and I give him uncooked spaghetti and a jar of sauce and tell him, I've had to figure it out for the last 10 years. Maybe it's time that you figure it out.
Very good. Okay.
Okay, I have
That
to tell
was raw
you.
spaghetti, not like raw meat.
OMG. Sticky was coming in strong. She was definitely like going to be my winner on this one, like dumping the kids on top of him and the food, because I actually like Taylor's concept, except that I'm afraid that if the kids go in and ask him, he'll probably like shoo them away and then, they'll feel bad. So I like the concept of like just dumping everything on him, but Jess, OMG. That hands down, Jess.
Okay.
You're my lady today.
That's it. Okay, fine.
Right? Yeah.
Rocco.
Okay, so I'm gonna go with Taylor, but I'm gonna just tweak it a little bit. I'm gonna say to the children, instead of go see if daddy wants to play, just say, daddy wants to play. And, and don't take no for an answer. Daddy said he wants to play with you, go. So, but that's Taylor's.
That's good. Okay, fine. Beautiful. Okay, Gabby.
What can I, sorry, we're just,
I think we're gonna have to, we're switching the order of the judges. There's like influence going on. There's peddling, there's both peddling going on.
you're just asking Sarit to go first.
Yeah,
I had to think about so now it's like, yeah, I just look like I'm copying Sarit, but I have I think independently.
Yeah, right.
You want to be me, Gabby. You
What can I say? You really got me. But listen, I think Jessica's one is just so good. How can I not choose it?
Raw spaghetti wins. Raw spaghetti wins. Yay, worst wife ever, Jessica. First time on the show. She's winning it up today so far. There's still chance. You're eligible too, right? Whoever wins yet, you're eligible too.
Yes.
But we are changing the order of the thing.
Yes. And Leah on tour anytime Javi said, I just want to make sure it's Javi her name because I feel bad yes, Java. She said, thanks for the great ideas.
Oh, great. Adorable. Thank you. Okay, let's go to the next one.
Oh, tell
Okay.
us the answer. Tell us the answer.
Oh, thank you, Rach. You're hired. Okay, fine. Okay, so this is your husband comes home, plops down on the couch without helping. He doesn't notice all the kids screaming and dinner being cooked. What do you do? Has this ever happened to anybody ever? So again, this is a hard one because you'd want to say have a conversation not in the heat of the moment and like all the advice we've been giving the whole show, which is and this is, by the way, this is Leah Richheimer's advice. This is a chazal. This is 3,000-year-old track record of success, which is conflict is never going to resolve things in the middle of battle, right? Is to do it outside of that, like have conversations and speak from your heart and do it in a soft way, in a kind way, and a quiet way. That's how you make results in the marriage. But for this situation where everything's on your head and it's spinning, and rage would be, you know what I mean? Like the rage would go, as you're standing there, you're stirring the pot or the raw spaghetti, whatever, the anger in the moment would be hard to contain because you'd feel so resentful and put out, and like he didn't think of you, like he wasn't thoughtful, like he didn't care, that he didn't love you, that he was oblivious, that he, all the qualities that you don't want to see in your husband or don't want to witness. So in this scenario, the kind of thing you might do is you might, turn the stove down a little bit, give the kids some cookies and go in there and say, I'm a little stressed out here. I had a pretty tough day. Any chance you could, give me a hand on something? If you also had a stressful day, I understand, but just letting you know that I'm just feeling a little bit like I could use some help. Try it once. If it's successful, that works. If you try it, he gets all defensive and he yells, and I worked all hard all day, and this is your job and that's my job. If you work out of the home, then you have more of a say. If your whole job is to be a stay-at-home mom, then there's some more veracity to what he's saying, more reality, and you have to, okay, that's kind of true. He has his 9 to 5 and you have 9 to 10 or 9 to 7, whatever it is. So, and these are very politically incorrect conversations. I would say the same thing if the wife was working full-time and the husband wasn't working full-time. I'd say he really should bear a lot more of the responsibility. So depending on how that shakes down and what your relationship is and how motivated he is and whether he is a helper or he's not a helper, whether he was raised to be that way, whether he wasn't raised to be that way, all of those factors come into play. But when you're feeling angry and resentful, you got to have a way to communicate it to him, not harshly, not meanly, but I could use a little help here, and he loves you. He loves you. I know a lot of women, they say, I don't think he loves me anymore. No, are you crazy? He loves you. You are his oxygen. He loves you. He wants to do for you. You just have to bring him in a nice way. Same thing like a kid. If you tell a kid, clean your room, but you could also say, I'll give you an ice cream if you clean your room. You know what I mean? There's ways to say it. And that's the approach you need to take. If you can hold on to it and speak to him outside of the conflict, when, you can just like hold the steam in your ears and just like, and get through the dinner, get through the kids, get through everything, and then talk about it another time, that would be ideal. But I understand this resentment can't build, and you can't be sitting there, whatever's going to ruin the night, and there won't be closeness there. So if you have to say something, just be very, very careful and circumspect and thoughtful on how you're going to say it. Okay, fantastic. Let's go to the next one. Okay. Okay, this one is the husband sulking, right? Rachel, am I doing okay, fine. Your husband sulks anytime you tell him something he did wrong. It seems like you can't even share any of your concerns with him about life without him taking it personally. He gives you the silent treatment, and he just like gets all bent out of shape whenever you say anything that smacks a little bit of rejection or what's it called when you put someone down?
Attention.
Attention.
Condescension.
Condescension. Yeah. Condescension, or saying anything critical and like that. Anytime he does that, okay, then he gives you the silent treatment. What do you do?
Since he's acting like a toddler, I stomp around the house and I throw tantrums and I start throwing things and saying, I want my toys. And then I put a pacifier in my mouth and I just sit there and I give him a little taste of his toddler treatment.
Okay, very good. That's good. Worst wife ever. Okay, Rachel.
I think I'm going to have to use my improv mirroring skills in this one and just do exactly what he does. Just repeat and mirror his face and do and follow around, just like that I'm not copying you game.
Oh, you mean like if he says, and you never, you never listen to me, you will say, and you never listen to me. Oh,
yeah.
Ouch. If my kid did that, ooh. Okay, fine. Okay, who's up next?
I'm gonna.
Jess.
I'm going to say the opposite of everything he says because I think that will irritate him more than anything. So if he wants to be condescending, then I'm going to be as praiseworthy as possible.
But
Oh.
wait a sec. So give me an example. Like what's one thing he would say, and then what would you say?
Oh my goodness. Okay, so if he said, I didn't think it was so hard to have dinner ready on time, I would say, I didn't know it was so easy to be as lovely as you are when you walk in the door from work.
Oh, so you're gonna compliment.
Yes.
But with a twist.
Kill him with compliments. Kill him with compliments.
Wow. Okay. Very good. Okay. Taylor.
I'm just gonna say, listen, Wendy Weiner. I'm just gonna hysterically laugh at everything he says. Like everything he says, if he actually says anything, I'm just gonna be like, I just knew he was kidding. I just knew. You are so funny.
Ouch. Ouch. Okay. That actually could work. Don't take this. Don't do this. Try this at home. Okay. Fine. Good. Good, ladies. Okay. We have to mix it up. Rachel, you
Gabby.
go first.
Oh, okay. I thought Gabby.
Okay. I actually like, you know, I never thought of this. Thank you, Ziggy. To throw things and to put a pacifier in my mouth, just like he, you know, act like a baby, just like he is. And I think I may try that. So
Great. Great.
thank you for that idea.
Worst wife ever. Okay. Gabby.
My feed got cut out, so I didn't hear who said it, but who said the mirroring thing?
Oh, that was Rachel.
Rachel.
Yeah, I have to go with that. I love just putting up a mirror to their faults is definitely the way that I would go.
That's the worst one ever. Okay. Sareen.
Yeah, and Gabby, we are very similar because I was very much into Rachel's, and I was feeling Rachel's, like that was going to be my response. And then there's something about the cackling Tyler, I always say your name wrong. There's something about that, like as he's talking, to laugh in his face. Oh, not more than that. Oh, I love it.
Okay. So wait a sec. Now we have three different.
Yeah.
What was the vote?
You need to be the tiebreaker.
You're gonna have to be the tiebreaker.
Wait, who's?
I did it first though, didn't I?
Rachel, and is it
You did
Tyler or Taylor? I'm so bad. I'm so
Taylor.
sorry.
It's Taylor. Taylor.
Taylor.
like-
Thank you,
yeah.
Taylor. I don't know why I keep saying Tyler. I like that name. Okay, Taylor.
Good. Okay. So
Whoever shook first is the tiebreaker, right? And Siggy shook.
Yes.
that's how we do it. That's right. Siggy won that round. Okay, fine. So I'm going to give an explanation. Then Gabby, you're going to give the grand round, and we're going to see who won the worst wife ever. Okay. So that one was your husband's upset that he pays more attention. Oh no, that's the next one. Your husband's
Siggy,
so-
by the way, got on Facebook also. People put in Siggy as the winner.
Oh. Okay. Your husband soaks, and anytime you tell him something he did wrong, it seems like you can't share your concerns. He takes it personally. He gives you the silent treatment. So what do you do? So silent treatment is actually torture. And if you are a silent treatment doer, if you do the silent treatment, this is something to work on in your life starting right now. The silent treatment is a way of detaching, right? Then you do need a pacifier as well. You know, it's a way of detaching and not taking responsibility for your own actions, for their actions, for your emotions. It's not understanding your emotions. When you're going into the silent treatment, there's a disconnect between you and the other person, and that pushing away. And it's really not I know a lot of people who do it. I get a lot of questions on it for years and years, people who are married for 2 years, 10 years, and 20 years, where that's still part of the modus operandi, part of the pattern in their relationship is they go through these phases of silent treatment. One, maybe sometimes it's one person, maybe it's the other, maybe it's both, do it at various times. So this is not the best way to handle life, as I'm sure while you're giving the silent treatment, you know this isn't really the right thing to be doing, but you don't in your head have a way out of it. All of you guys are looking at me so seriously like this. It's like, oh my gosh. So I hope it's because, this is supposed to be a comedy show, but this is a very serious matter with silent treatment. And silent treatment, the breakthrough, the game changer in getting out of silent treatment is firstly to understand how damaging it can be in the relationship, that your husband can't trust you anymore. You can't trust your husband anymore. The second thing is that to understand that there is a solution. There's always a communication that can be given. Maybe you don't know how, maybe he doesn't know how, but there's always a communication that can be given or can be had that reconnects you. So again, the first thing is to understand the damage that it causes, because that'll motivate you to change. A lot of people just are into a habit that they don't even realize there's damage, but there's a lack of trust in that relationship because you don't know if that person's going to be there for you when you need them. And you also, some people, you walk on eggshells and you say the wrong things and you've done it again and again. You don't exactly know what you're saying that gave you the silent treatment. You don't know what. So understanding that it's damaging and understanding that there's always something you can say, with those two factors, you can solve the silent treatment. And sometimes it's just being a big person to write on a little note, a post-it note or something, I'm sorry. You don't have to say what. If it's too hard to like, I'm sorry, and they're really the one who, it's their fault really. But if you just said, I'm sorry, I want to be close to you. I'm sorry, let's talk about this. I'm sorry, you want to go for a walk. Whatever it is, as long as you have a good track record of communication. If you don't have a good track record of communication and things get worse when you talk about it, that's when you need to go and get a third party, a rebbitzin, a rabbi, a therapist, a clergy person, somebody who you can talk to work out and learn how to have communication when you have these types of conflicts. But just remember, the silent treatment always backfires. It just causes distance in the relationship. So how do you solve this? Your husband is coming and he's got and he's always giving you the silent treatment. If it's you, you work on it yourself. If it's him, you say, for years now, I'm not sure if you realize, but the silent treatment thing, I really would like to work on getting on the other side of it. It doesn't work for us. I think it makes our children afraid because we're not talking to each other. It makes us, there's a level of tension in the house that really, sometimes when we boil it down to what the original affront was, the original conflict, the silent treatment around it is way bigger and more massive and troublesome than the issue was in the beginning. So what can we do? And then brainstorm ways to solve it. Okay, if you're feeling like giving the silent treatment, then you have to say it. Let's make that a rule. If you feel like giving the silent treatment, I feel like giving you the silent treatment right now. I'm not going to, but you have to understand, I really want to pull away. I really want to be distant because you hurt me so much, or what you said upset me so much. That's the first step. And there's Google it. How do you not give the silent treatment? So become a maven, become an expert in how not to give the silent treatment. It's very, very, very crucial because it's damaging in the relationship. Gabby,
No.
who is the winner of The Worst Wife Ever?
Jessica!
Jessica! Yay! Worst wife ever! Jessica wins the award, the worst wife ever. This is Leah Richheimer for the Ladies Talk Show. Thank you so much for being with us. We'll see you next time.